Hello again. Well, today I am going through bearings and basically repacking them with grease, cleaning them, and putting them back into service. These are some Avid bearings. Basically came off this truck right here. I had a couple pretty nasty crashes, but anyway, going through these ones, and this one feels pretty crunchy. This one's not too bad, but anyway, I'm going to clean them up, and they will be right as rain, brand new, just like they came off the assembly line. So I use my RPM bearing blaster. This thing is awesome. If you don't have one, I highly recommend picking one up. They're only about $5. Yeah, and they make a bigger one now too if you have larger bearings. So basically you're going to pull the seals off, front and back. So I use a couple of different kinds of razor blades you can get. Flat blade like this, or the pointy blade like this. I prefer these ones. I buy them, they come in a thing like that, like a dispenser. You can always put them away and they're safe. But yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull the seals out of these. Okay, so there we have it. These are the back sides of the seals, obviously, right? But you want to be as nice to them as possible. Obviously, I clean them, the outsides of these seals first before I pull them out with the razor blade. And just be careful, get right under the edge just nicely and pop them up. Don't cut them, don't damage them, try and be gentle to them. So I use Avid slide and slip and slide basically. The slide bearing grease, this stuff is amazing bearing grease. If you don't have some, I highly recommend picking it up. Avid's always sold out of it, but if they have some available, I say grab it. It's fairly cheap, it's only like $5. That tube will last you quite a long time. This is the stuff that they put in their ceramic bearings, all their bearings. And this is their bearing oil with this super fancy little pen, which is awesome. This pen to me is worth $5. This, I think it costs $6. So you got the nice little cap with, you can put it, in a pocket or something and clip it in there. And then it's basically like a little needle point to it. I'm not going to pull it off because I'll end up wasting some, but it's really good bearing oil. So you just use that sporadically, you just touch it to the bearing, and you can lube them while you're racing or before you go out. And when they start getting old or whatever, you can see that all that grease inside here is now black. So I'm going to go ahead and spray these out. I use an electrical contact cleaner. A lot of people, you can use a degreaser or whatever, but this stuff works really well and it doesn't leave anything behind. Once that's done and I can see that it's completely clean, I'll go and just take my compressor. I got a little air compressor side, I'll blow them out just to make sure I get any excess whatever out before I put the grease in. So this bearing blaster is pretty awesome for that because you essentially just drop it in there, get it centered. Getting the seal stuck to me here. Slide the top on, and that's it. Now you just slide this into there and shoot it, and it's going to go right properly into the bearing where it needs to be. So I'll go ahead and clean these. Okay, so here's the bearings, nice and shiny and clean and new. You can see right through them how they should be. And it doesn't take long to do it, right? You can do it yourself. They're brand new again. Look at all that stuff that came out of those two little bearings. Right, plus I use my compressor to blow it out, and a lot more, the last little bit of the stuff comes out as well, which would be even more. So now I'm going to go ahead and pack them with grease. You can use whatever you like. I used to use just a white lithium based grease. If you want to have something that can withstand fairly high temperatures, as these do spin pretty fast, right? They can get hot at times. I picked up this slide bearing grease. It's amazing, amazing grease. Once you try it, you'll probably never go to anything else. It's specifically made for bearings. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. Okay, so there you have it. This is a nice little fancy schmancy little applicator. It fits perfectly into the bearing race, so you can just go right around the edge. Very nice. I only fill up the one side, the deeper trough. The back side, it's going to work through anyway, so I don't like to put too much in there. So now I'll go ahead and put the seals back in. I'll spin it around a few times and I'll just clean off any excess grease that comes out. And that's basically it. They go back in the truck. You touch them with bearing oil every once in a while when you want to lube them up again, and this bearing oil is meant for in between. But yeah, that's basically how you do it. Okay, so here we are. I've got the bearings repacked. They feel pretty good. A lot of guys will just actually turf the bearings after a race, or especially cheapies. These are only like $1 a bearing, right? They're not that much. But if you go ahead and lube them and repack them, you can get a lot more life out of them. So me, what I do, I run them a race, and then they'll go into service in one of my other trucks probably. So especially, I don't know, sometimes I find like this one here doesn't feel very good. I probably would chuck this one. I've rebuilt it now, and it doesn't feel right. So I'll swap them over to new guys. And but yeah, I thought I'd show you how to do it anyway. I got a parts bin that I keep all my spare bearings and such, and there's nothing wrong with them. They still work fine. They're just not quite as smooth as brand new. And when you're racing, you want brand new, right? So anyways, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you again. Any questions or comments, you can leave them below, and I'll be happy to help you out.